This is about as good as the angle is gonna get. No, I just finished filming my other sketchbook tour, got that uploaded like a few days ago, and now I'm filming this. This is sketchbook 21. I actually finished this one. First of all, it's a Pentalic sketchbook. It was just the first sketchbook where I felt the paper and was like, oh, this feels nice. I found exactly what I wanted, which is a sketchbook that isn't gonna fall apart on me like my last one did. But yeah, I'll give more context as we go for different things. Get this as good in the camera angle as possible. So this was the first page. I've tended to do a self-portrait on the first page in all of my prior sketchbooks. This time I changed it up a little bit. I've kind of like decided that whatever rules I had for my sketchbook, I wanted to like allow myself to break if I felt so inclined to do so. So I left this blank for a while with a different idea, and then I came back and I did this because me and my roommate got really obsessed with space, and so I painted us being dorks. I really like this. This was a sticker I got from my tattoo artist who did my recent crow tattoo. Put it on screen again, I don't care. But yeah, that's fun. I didn't decorate the cover with stickers. I only did a sticker on the back, which I'll actually show. I only did a sticker on the back. That's another like rule I guess I broke. This was actually the first page I did since I left that one blank for a while. I did a little self-portrait. I love doing self-portraits. This I did with watercolor, and I really like the way the camo jacket came out specifically. This was when I had hair and it was red. That was a brief period. And then these are my OCs, Miles and Cash. I really like these paintings of them. This is both of them in like their second evolution. It's hard to explain, but they can shapeshift, so I'm gonna point to many different looking characters and say that it's the same person. This is a fun little doodle of them. Miscellaneous doodles over here, and then I wanted to do a whole like page of Jesse Pinkman, and then this one like left after my Pinterest refresh and I couldn't find it, so I was like, I don't care anymore. And then this is my friend's OC and me cuddling my friend's OC. This is a little self-portrait page, just kind of me doodling in red and blue. I think this is a nice palette. I think this is kind of fun. I was kind of like getting into the groove of using the sketchbook. This is alcohol marker. I like how the hair and the legs look. I don't think the rest is like rendered very nicely in a way that at least I find interesting. It just kind of looks boring, but I think I need to play around with alcohol markers a bit more again. Miles and Cash again. Miles and Cash. Do you like how they look the same? More of Miles and Cash. I like this spread a lot. Actually, I don't. That's a lie. I don't like this page. I like this one though. I was sucking on Andy's mints and I would put the wrappers in here. This is a little self-portrait of me with lyrics to I'm a Fake. And then here is some M. This is my other OC. She's in the same universe as Miles and Cash, but she's not like a shapeshifter like they are, so she just looks the same all the time, except for when she doesn't and I draw her a little bit fucked up. But this is really cute. I really liked this. This was kind of like inspired me to make her main colors just like blue and green. I think that just suits her. And you see that kind of come back in a different spread. She has leg hair now canonically because my friend drew her with leg hair. The friend who she's based on drew her with leg hair and I was like, I need to add that. So this is uncanon, but she's really cutesy and I love her. These are my friends OCs, Smith and Martin, and I really like how this turned out. It's just did like a watercolor wash. Did this with inks and then put some watercolor over it for just kind of a simple background. This is Cash again. This is my friend's OC Ray, calling him insane lovely things. This is some thumbnail sketches of an oceanic white tip. It's an endangered shark. We had this assignment where we had to make a petite of an endangered species, so I just took this and had a lot of fun with it. I'll put it on screen. Here's more of Cash and Ray. These two, it's like fun to think of how these two would interact, even though they're never gonna act. They don't exist in nearly the same universe, but it's fun to just put them together. Very fun. Then these are some sketches of Cash. This is kind of like his different versions. I wrote notes kind of like trying to think of how it would play out, but this is like kind of what he looks like before he gets his powers. This is what he kind of like puts on. He like presents once he finds his powers and is like in this form. And then this is when he's like no longer dealing with like superhero bullshit, so he's happy and kind of like reverts more back to what he like naturally aesthetically leans into. He's a performative emo. Here is some more of Ray, some June. This is my OC Miles again. I did this with watercolor. I think he just looks so pretty. I'm so happy with how the body turned out and the way his hair is laying. I love him. I just think he's just so depressed. These are lyrics from the song Basic Being Basic by Joe. I have a whole like animatic in my head that I want to make to this song, but because I don't ever really end up having a lot of creative energy to pursue those like longer projects, I wanted to make at least something for that idea, so this was that, and I really like it. I think it looks really nice. This is the page that I showed in my last sketchbook tour. So this is Cash. So kind of like what I was talking about, this was like while he is dealing with his superhero bullshit, he has the performative emo and then moral of him when he's like chill and happy, and I like this. I was trying to give them more like solid face references and was drawing some of the like portraits that I found of like the same people, trying to give them more solid face. I really like this sketch of Miles, and these two particularly. These ones I like a little less, but these two. I went through my Instagram and wanted to do a redraw of some sort, like I was feeling the urge, and these are all redraws from an old Sally face drawing I did. I feel like those don't show my progression as an artist like that much. Like I definitely feel like there's stylistic differences, but these I spent like even less time on than I did on those from way back then. Like I think I must have spent a while on those. These I just scribbled. It's also funny to see these because I'm like, I don't think Sally would wear that, but I just kind of redrew it because I didn't care. Some like Sally face but like without the mask on, and I really like these two. These are really fun. This is a little comic about an interaction I had and where I was in a horrible mood, and then a stranger called me sir, and I was like, wow, I'm in a great mood now. This is a little doodle of my Sona. I really like this one particularly with his stupid little face, and it makes me very happy. Both of these are cute, but this one particularly like really makes me happy. And then this is of my roommate. I'm a fan. And then this is based on like a Pinterest photo, and I did this with alcohol markers. I think I had just like some extra watercolor on my palette that I wanted to use up, so I just kind of did a wash of it all over and then put this on top of it. Because of the alcohol marker for the text, I put down some tempera paint to kind of cover it up and then doodled on top of it. I was rewatching BoJack Horseman, so I did this. I am quite a fan. I feel like it's fun how like shapy he is here. It just makes me happy. And I also did this of Jeff the Killer. When I was going through this sketchbook with a friend, she was like, oh, BoJack and Sarah Lynn, and I was like, so close. Jeff the Killer. Then this was me thinking of like how certain art supplies would interact for this one assignment I was making, and then that's how long it like took me to go back to working on like the cover. This is the thumbnail that I did for it, and I think this thumbnail's really cute. Here I was doing art history notes, so I started to do this thing where I would sketch out the art pieces as they were on screen and take notes. That was fun. This is my favorite painting, Jacques Louis David, The Death of Marat. I love it. It's one of my favorite. It's probably like my favorite painting that isn't of like our current era. It makes me extremely happy. I really love it. It's a beautiful painting. These aren't as interesting. I feel like some of them you can kind of tell that she wasn't talking about them as long. Like this one we got more time on. This one she went over pretty quickly. This one I wrote 3 notes before we were done. Here I was going through my pencil case and seeing what highlighters of mine were dying, and the answer was most. Then you can see some scribbles of me planning my shark design. Nothing super interesting, other doodles. Back to some art history notes. This is the Saturn eating his son. Some more doodles. I mean, nothing super interesting. Just some Sona doodles. I was doing this like while I was with a friend. I kind of felt art blocked here, and every time I see this spread in particular, I can just kind of feel that I was art blocked and didn't know what to do in my sketchbook. But this is fine. You're always gonna have pages that you don't like. And then I got Lindor chocolates for me and my roommate, and I wrote, do you think they make poop balls in the dining hall? So that's good. This was a little bit of character info I was thinking of for Miles and Cash. This is both of them and they're prepubescent. But I was writing character motivations, weaknesses, and then like kind of like their major relationships and like how they're viewed generally, I guess, at the beginning of the story. Fun. I like this. I was doing some random doodles with markers just because I wanted to do some sort of doodling, and I just made this funky little page of stupid little creatures that made me happy. For one of my assignments, I took some Crayola crayons home with me, and I was like, I want to play. I want to play with these more than anything. So I did this. I really like this. This turned out really pretty. I just think that the colors are really nice. I think the like blue for the black hair, and it just makes me very happy. The colors here make me cheese. This is my friend and her cat Crayola, because I was using Crayola crayons. It brought up her cat who's passed away, and I was like, well, can I draw you with your cat? And she said yes, so I did this. I really like this drawing I did. I think it just turned out very nice. It's got a lot of nice shapes in it with the curves. It just makes me very happy. More playing around with crayons, and then this is more art history notes. So this is kind of when I gave up on drawing like the actual things that were on screen, because I think this was when we were getting into, I mean, sometimes it would be like it's a still life or it would be an abstract painting, and I'm like, I don't know how to like sketch that with markers, so I'm just gonna doodle what I want next to it. So this is me, some cash, June, I'm like vaguely skipping this page. You can still kind of see it, but not enough to actually figure out what's going on. I was gonna do more watercolor studies on this page, but this is sort of, I guess, a self-portrait. This was just my eye. I burst a blood clot in it, and I wrote lyrics from Buried Myself Alive by the Used. This was also with Crayola watercolors, so that was fun. It was like, I really like playing with sometimes younger students' art supplies, just because I feel like the level of like restriction you have with it being somewhat like cheaper or lower quality or just like less kind of forces you to have to be creative with how you use it, and I think that's very fun, very pretty. So this is the halfway spread. I kind of just wrote down a bunch of stuff. I left this blank for a while thinking I'd go back to it and write and like do something really cool. I had this really cool idea, and then I said, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't have the energy to, and it's been too long. Like, I think I did quite a bit more before I went back and did this, and I just wrote down like kind of my general feelings towards this spread, and then I doodled with some tempera paint on top of it. This is after I got my tattoo, a little comic that I did about the experience, and then just a little self-portrait of me thinking of a concept. I was gonna do this in watercolor, but then I didn't, which is kind of a bummer because I really like these shoes specifically. This was me thinking of like a space theme sort of thing. This was a sticky note that my roommate gave me. We were like cleaning up our room, and he turned to me and he's like, I have something for you. Please take it and embrace it. And I was like, that's great, bud. I do appreciate it. Just lots of doodles of like me kind of like doing concept art for it, I guess. Then this was more of that idea, me tweaking, and then this was me and my roommate as like little space characters. Does this make sense for space at all? Oh, no, and why would it? But I really like our expressions here. Every person that like knows us as a duo, when I've shown them this, really likes this because of our expressions. Looking pissed off at you and you just being so cheese. Yeah, that's great. That's perfect. Because of the marker bleed through from the alcohol markers on the page before, I'd put some tempera paint along with just some sketches down that I had already done and just glued them in here. That's fun. I like this of June and M, my sweet ladies. And then me doing some like critique notes from my shark that I hung up in the hallway, and then some more little doodles of my guy. And then because my critique was like right at the beginning of class, I was like, okay, now I don't have to pay attention to the rest of this, let's go. And I doodled just some of my classmates. This is my friend. The other people I don't even know their names, but this is my friend. This is a stupid inside joke that me and my roommate had. It's dumb, but I really like this doodle of both of us. I think it's fun. I like the like sketchiness, and I mean, I always am a sucker for drawing like baggy clothes, so this was me thinking about a painting idea I had. I haven't done it. We just skipped a page, but there was marker on that side, so I put some tempera paint down. It's a bummer that last page is like definitely not something I would show, because I do really like it. It just is not something that I'm gonna be like putting on YouTube. Anyways, little guys doodle. This was me thinking of like having a little like mascot creature, so I did some studies of like things that I think would be fun. It's a lot of Tamagotchi. I think it's cute. And then these are me kind of trying on my own to make a little guy. These are fun. They're fine. Does this work? Okay, so this page I'm censoring out something over on this side, but on this page over here, doing some like thinking for an interior design for something. And then this was a self-portrait I did, and I wrote some text underneath it that I won't be sharing, but this was just a watercolor portrait of me. Next page. So again, back to like those creatures. The idea was mixing alien designs with sea creatures, so I took some references of sharks and the big ass whale. Doing some doodles of some of those, thinking of like maybe what would be fun. And I like kind of the background that I did here. And I was hanging out with a friend and I was like, I don't know what to draw. And she's like, how about you do that trend on Instagram and TikTok or whatever, where you like go on Pinterest and you look up portrait, then you look up like flower, then you look up like bug, and then you look up doodles. And that's what I did. And this was fun. I feel like this is a good activity for when I'm just kind of like, I want to do something brainless. Just like look up random shit on Pinterest, and then you kind of get a fun illustration out of it. I like this. I can't show what I just did, but the entire time I was putting sticky notes on this, I was going la 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 la. So I hope you appreciated that. These are just some stupid doodles kind of scribbling around, but I did this of my goat, Ryland Grace. My goat, my king. You will see the Bloody Mary fixation quickly come in. Here I was cleaning up some things in my room, and I was taking some things down from my wall, and I just was like, I don't know where I'm gonna put these. I don't want to like keep these around to just like re-hang up sometime else. I want to put up like new things in the future, so I'm gonna put everything in here. This was super fun. I really enjoyed this. These little like stars were made out of origami paper, and I think these are really fun. And then these were from paint cards at Walmart that I just doodled on top of with acrylic markers. This was made by my friend. This was made by my friend. This is a fortune cookie I had. This was a little doodle of Reese. These are the characters from my other story. These are the only drawings of them in here, and I did not draw them a single other time in this sketchbook. And then here's some of Ko from that same story, Mindless Power. Another drawing that my friend did. I did this, and then just stuck in everything else. And then here I was thinking I was gonna do this in watercolor, but I ended up just doing the line art and being like, and I'm done. I think I'm done. I just like how all these drawings look. Like this one's okay, but I like generally, especially these two. They just look nice. Jeff the Killer, my friend's Jeff the Killer OC, and then I went on Pinterest to look up like a background idea, and I found this, and this is super fun. I think this like turned out really cool. And these were thumbnails I was thinking of for a painting. I still haven't done it yet. I would like to, but it's next to me, and I really, every time I like sit to work on it, I'm like, I would rather just do anything else, so I haven't really worked on it much. But love this spread overall. La, 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 la. This page isn't super freaked out, but Bloody Mary, not gonna say it another time. And I have a problem. I really like these guys. This is with colored pencil. These are with like, I think highlighter, Crayola marker on top. I think it's fun. Computer, very fun. More of Bloody Mary. This was me hanging out with my friend, and he drew this. If I can, he drew this. I was like, that's great, bud. He drew this, and I do think it's fun, and I was like, I'm not gonna scribble it out, but the rest of this page, like, I want it to be something else and look nice, so I'm gonna just cover that, but it's always there. It's always just under a little window. You can always visit it. I wrote Bald Boy Summer, but it kind of looks like Bald Summer Boy. Either way it works, but I really like this sketch. I had a lot of fun once I got a yellow highlight. I got a pack of 4 yellow highlighters, so I've been playing. And this, I didn't realize this was spelt wrong until such a hot minute after I posted it, and someone just like commented about it, and I went, yeah, okay. This is just some more doodling, some doodles of like my little guy. I was like, okay, well, how do I draw him now that I'm bald? And this is how I've kind of figured it out. And this was me me planning my thumbnail for my sketchbook tour. This is the one I ended up going with. And this was me practicing drawing Ryland Grace because I did this and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And so I did this and I really like it. I was layering cyan, magenta, and yellow on top of each other to get this, and I think it turned out really nice. It's very fun to layer. This was, I got the mojo tender, the citrus mojo from Wingstop, and they put my name in wrong, and I always appreciate when people kind of spell my name wrong because I think it's funny. I genuinely don't really care that much. I just think it's amusing, so I stuck it in here. Here is just kind of a scribbly page, and then this, I was gonna do, this is a photo that my mom took and I wanted to paint it, and then I got to a point where I was like, this isn't fun, and gave up. But this was with acrylic gouache. I don't do a lot with acrylic gouache, and maybe that's why I wasn't having fun with it, because I'm not as experienced with that medium, but oh well. Oh well. Here is some more June and M being freaked out. I love these two. They make me very happy. I liked putting this paper in. I don't know, was there something on this page? No, I just wanted to put in paper and sketch on top of it, and that's also what I did here. I think I wrote stuff down, and then I was like, oh, this is boring for a sketchbook page, so I taped paper and on top and just doodled on top of it. I like this doodle of my persona guy, my bald persona guy. Makes me very happy. And then this is just some doodles of me. This is my drawing with left hand. It doesn't look very good. I keep reading this as bod. It says boo, but I keep reading it as bod. And then this, watching Vanilla Mace's recent hotel sleepover vlog, and she puts on that stupid mermaid tail, and I was like, God, if someone put her in an actually cute mermaid outfit, that would be so good. And then I was like, wait, I could just put her in that. So this is what I did. I'm so proud of that digital art. I don't do a whole lot of digital art, so when I do and when I like it, I really like it. And then this is a little doodle of my persona guy. Again, I'm a very big fan. This page, I love this page. So I did some scrapbooking kind of stuff. I had returned to all of my fun scrapbooking supplies and said I'm going to have just so much fun. So this is kind of like June and M. These two. I just really like M's page particularly. These are rub-on stickers, and I just felt like they fit her vibe really well because they're just kind of these hippie sort of stupid ones. And then just some stickers and whatnot. I really like this sketch of her along with this one. She's just so cute. Look at her. Look at her. And then these of June are also cute. I don't like June's page quite as much, but it's fine. And I like these little cutesy things I stuck in. Very fun. This I was drawing. There was some weird empty space here, so I just stuck in this old drawing I had. And then I drew some Ryland Grace and some Ryland Grace. So just some more Bloody Marys. What am I? This was based on a comic that this artist was doing. Just kind of drew one of the panels that they had. This artist I just adore so much. Yes. And then this is some self-portraits of me. These were I took 2 photos of myself and just doodled them. And I had so much fun doing the clothing folds, dude. Doing clothing folds is so fun, especially on baggy clothes. Look at that. That's just, it brings me joy. It makes me happy. So that last page and this spread and the last few pages, I was like, okay, I just want to get this all done right now. I want to get this sketchbook done today because I'm getting really antsy for my next one, but I wanted to do stuff that I actually would look back on and like. So I did this. This is with acrylic markers. I had kind of missed using them. So these are of my dog. Both 2 photos of him. I adore this one. The more time with it I have, the more I look at him and just he is just so cute. He here was laying down on the floor, but had his face wedged between my knees, and so I took a photo of that and evidently drew it, and then just a little more him just looking at me sort of doodle. I miss him. He's in the house with me right now, but I miss him. And then I was trying to think of just other things that I would have fun doing on the last pages of the sketchbook, and this is what I did. I drew some cash. I just did really scribbly stuff because that's what I was looking at on Pinterest. I was trying to come up with ideas. And I was like, ooh, really scribbly art, like coloring that doesn't even like fit in the lines. That sounds kind of fun. So I did this and I think it turned out really cool. And so this is some cash, some miles. I feel like they weren't as prevalent in the second half of the sketchbook, but I still love them. And he looks so good. I need this man. And then this was the last page. I always kind of just do something sort of simple for the last page. My follower tracking, and then like my goals. I did finish it. That was a proud one. I did more mediums, which like isn't saying much because in my last sketchbook, I basically exclusively used markers and tempera paint like 3 times. And then always have joy. I did. And I feel like that is really like good in the last pages too, because I feel like with the last pages, I tend to be like, I want to rush. I want to just get through these and go on to the next thing. Here, I think I took my time in a way that was beneficial. And then return to old OCs. That is my mindless power characters. I have not drawn them at all in this sketchbook. And I'm okay with that. I'm having more fun thinking of my other characters. This was just sort of like another goal that I could think of. So I usually like to do a little like show of my next sketchbook. Unfortunately, I don't have anything in it, but I will just brag about the fact that I made this sketchbook. So I'll just talk about how cool that is. So I made this sketchbook using exclusively like free things, at least for me, or like things that I already had. The like book itself, like the cardboard, the hardcover, is made out of cereal boxes. Then the stickers I already had, the marker that I drew on top I already had, the paper was my mom's that I used to decorate this, and then the actual paper inside, there was like a donation bin at my school, and I said I'm gonna take this like pad of paper and use this to make a sketchbook. So that's exactly what I did, and I'm super happy with it. Along with the threading, I already had this thread, I already had these needles. Sketchbooks are like getting to be like 40. Like there was a sketchbook I looked at about this size and it just had watercolor paper in it and it was $50. So I'm like, okay, I made this for completely free for me. And even if I had bought the materials, it wouldn't be super expensive. You can also like decorate this in many different ways, but this was super fun. I'm definitely gonna keep doing this. I think this might be like a new thing that I try to do with my sketchbooks, is to just make them because it is like more financially like easier. And then you're also like reusing materials, you're using cardboard boxes. I just like it. It makes me feel very happy. And of course, a sticker on the back. I made it space because I love space. But I'm super happy and I feel like the cover and like the paper I chose is very suiting to me. And this lays pretty flat, like not entirely obviously, but pretty dang close. I'm excited for it. If you're interested in seeing this sketchbook whenever I finish it, which shouldn't be too long because I have nothing that I'm doing, then consider subscribing. I'll probably have it posted in like 2 months. If that. This didn't even take me 2 months, and I now have like almost unlimited free time, and this is less pages, so it's not gonna be very long. But I'm excited about it, so if you want to see it, again, stick around. Otherwise, if you want to keep up with any of my art, I post on Instagram and TikTok. Frequently, I post on there like more than weekly. I'm there on a very frequent basis, especially on Instagram. I'm there almost every day. And if you want to see like my Pinterest shit, that's linked as well. Yeah, super fun. Have a lovely day. Love y'all. Have a beautiful rest of your lunch, dinner, or breakfast. Bye.